and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I want to hear them say lift off one day. Yo, y'all, it's Friday. I will pause for the applause now. Good God. It's the last day of July, 5 months from today. On a Thursday, we will be celebrating the last day of 2026, preparing to ring in 2027. Oh, goody. And I guess we have a lot to do to get ready for what heaven knows only what's going to happen between now and then. And then the midterm elections will be over, and we will only have to reap what the non-voters have decided for everyone. Yep. The folks who are registered to vote but stay home, sitting on their arses, will decide who wins and loses in the 2026 elections. Good morning. I'm the forever obnoxiously realistic Rayford Brown, and this is Live and Local Real Talk celebrating the end of July.
And good morning, I'm Lee Burrows. I'm the optimistic one.
And what do you think they're going to do? You think the voters are going to get off their dead backsides and vote?
I think we'll have a better turnout than what we did in the primaries. And I'm glad to see
that's an easy one to bet on. We have
county putting out
11%.
some information. Well, I'm glad the county started putting out information about voting. I put it on our page and
Good.
the voting locations. And as it stands right now, it'll be the October 15th. And it'll go through the end of October.
That's the early voting.
Yeah, that's early voting, unless the bill goes into effect to shorten early voting. It's probable that it will not, because the governor has to sign it, which he'll veto it. Mm-hmm. And then they've got to go take it back into the legislature and override the veto. So they probably will not be able to get that done before early voting.
Of course not.
Never say never.
No, it's not going to happen.
But the optimistic one here says it might, but it probably won't.
No.
The pessimistic one says that's not going to happen.
The realistic one says, let's, just, no, okay.
Jim's watching us all the way from Tampa, Florida.
Jim, hey, down there in Tampa, what you doing down there?
Yeah,
nice. Be careful down that way. If you're down there, down Sarasota way, there's a place called Lido Beach. It's kind of a cool little beach. Nice, family-oriented. It's an easy, nice place to be.
Yes, he's in good country too. Mm-hmm. DeSantis land.
Yes, yeah. Okay, here's the official for the election on the 3rd day of November. If you want to wait until that last day to do it, you have 95 days, 1 hour, 26 minutes from now.
Yeah.
Not that I'm counting. That's when it starts.
Thank you.
Okay. I got a countdown going for that day.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll keep everybody up to speed with it. So much going on politically, and we both, you live politics.
Well, I will tell you that I talked to Michael Watley Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. He came flying in. He was delayed in New York.
Driving his pickup truck, was he?
He was delayed. His flight was delayed in New York, but he managed to make it.
Did he drive into Jacksonville?
He drove into Jacksonville.
Okay, so he flew in somewhere.
But he flew in somewhere, wherever, and then drove to Jacksonville. So, but it was good to see him. He good talk.
What's he doing in New York? That's foreign territory.
I don't know. Maybe it was some fundraising or something. You have people from all over the country that invest in your states.
No,
and your state senators and your state congressmen.
They just want to buy them, that's all.
No, it's like you have a lot of lobbyists, and that's the way they make their money. That's the way they get the money for fundraising. Mm-hmm. It's not just the local people handing them a check.
Yep, and we got his opponent, Mr. Cooper. He started campaigning couple of 3 years ago on our dime when he was the governor.
Yes. So he was going to Massachusetts, New York, all the way, and he
California.
was getting money. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was getting money.
He collected, he's got a big old war chest. Here at Live and Local, we want to continue helping you to help all of us in deciding who's going to help run the community and our federal government for the future. Whether that future is 2, 4, or 6 years or more, if those who win in November decide to seek re-election and are able to either convince us how great they are or con enough voters to return them for another term. Not going to harp on particular candidates right now. We'll do that as we get along. We want to walk you through the process to make sure you know the mechanics of voting, looking specifically at Onslow County. They will be very similar across the state, regardless of what county you're in. The locations and the names will be changed to protect the innocent. First thing you should do, and do it today, and again tomorrow if you forget to do it today, check the North Carolina Board of Elections website. We'll post the steps on our Facebook page. You will need to click on voter search. I would bookmark that page if I were you, that location, so you can check on it from time to time to make sure nobody's gotten in there and screwed around with your information. Voter search is what you're looking for. While this will allow you to search every registered voter across the state, save that opportunity for later use if you want to check on your friends, enemies, and colleagues. The online form is extremely simple. All you have to do is fill in your name, is fill in the blanks there, your real name, not your nickname. It's not required, but including your date of birth will narrow the search, especially if you have a common name like John Smith. If you have lived anywhere else in North Carolina, you might want to check the box to search all counties, just to make sure you're not registered there by some kind of a mistake. If you have been voting in Onslow County for the past couple elections, you can narrow the search by clicking the box and scrolling to Onslow. That eliminates all those others. Once you find yourself, click on that selection. Look very carefully at every detail. Do it several times because, you can look at mistakes sometimes and just say, okay, that looks good to me and keep on going, but it's still a mistake and it will come back and bite you. Make sure your name is exactly right, that your address is where you actually are currently living. And then note the location that is your voting place. That's fairly simple. Just to verify. That is the only place you will be able to vote on Election Day, the 3rd of November. We'll talk about the early voting as well, but if you go in there, you want to make sure you know where your polling place is in case at the last minute, even though you want to vote early, you don't. And you want to vote on Election Day, you can. It's great to know where you need to go. If you aren't familiar with a location, do a drive-by sometime when you're out and about. You got a couple of months. This is important if you've moved since you last voted. If you've moved across the street, or down the river, around the bend, or wherever,
Over the river.
you need to have your real current address there. That will be important. Important if you ended up voting at the wrong place last time, for instance, but your ballot was not counted until after Election Day because it was listed as provisional, and the Board of Elections had to go through all this trouble and expense to verify your residency after the election. It takes up time, and errors could happen, and it costs us money. Again, make sure that the address the Board of Elections has is your current mailing address. It's where you live. If it is wrong, you'll need to visit the County Board of Elections. Bring along your ID. I would bring along a current address, something with a utility bill that was mailed to you at that address. If you have a driver's license with the wrong address on it, that's not the best thing to be presenting. You can use it for ID, but then have some kind of a letter, a bill from a company that you owe money to, like the power company or whatever, that has your address on it and your name on it. Bring that along. This is also a good reminder to visit the DMV office in case your driver's license has the wrong address on it. A lot of people move. They fail to change their driver's license. Go get it up to date. If it's wrong on that driver's license, I'll give you a little hint. Go to the driver's license office right away. It's a state law to have your current address on your license. $180 cost of court plus a fine when you're caught if you forgot. They don't accept that in court. If you forgot, you might want to go get it done right away so you don't get stopped alongside the road one day and say, whoops, I forgot. Yeah, they'll remind you at that time. That's your lesson for today. We'll continue helping you understand how simple it is to vote, simpler if you have all of what you need before the election. If you're having any trouble getting information about your voter status in North Carolina, you just don't know how to do it,
Call me.
call us. You can call us on the air. We'll walk you through it, and you can do it right now. We'll look up your information. It's public, so there's nothing there you can say that's already, it isn't already online.
Mm-hmm.
The process might help you and others.
I've had people message me.
Okay, good. all we got to do is just, we'll show you how to do it. We'll give you every bit of information you need, but we'll work with you as you go along. It's, you know, we just want everybody to vote who's
This
eligible to vote.
weekend, I'll put a step-by-step on there
Yes,
with
thank
pictures. I did put the link on our pages today.
Motion at your stick-up fan.
I will tell you that, Rayford, everything you said makes sense.
Yes.
Have identification, prove where you live if you're registering to vote, et cetera, et cetera. But there's still groups of people who want to complain.
Yeah.
Why? I can't do this. You're discriminating
No,
against
we're
me.
not.
Blah, blah, blah.
We're trying to make this thing legal and simple. I mean, you know,
it is
we
simple.
want to make sure that everybody who can vote, who is eligible to vote, they get the opportunity to go do it. Don't, you know, there's nothing here that discriminates against anyone. Nobody. No one. Zero. So,
My goodness. Well, the other one's back.
yeah. Shockwave has returned.
Lucy's happy now because Robbie's home. So,
Why is Shockwave back?
oh,
I forgot his board of teleconfirmation, and they
oh,
won't take them unless they're up to date. I had it
Ah,
out last night and I forgot it.
okay. All right, the Onslow County Board of Elections, they, as of last night, had not posted on their site, but it is available at the county site, the list of voting locations for early voting,
see that, right.
except they got one of them wrong at the county site. They still got the Onslow County Board of Elections as a
I
site.
didn't see that.
Oh,
when I posted it.
it's deeply buried in the system.
Let me go take a look.
That's what I
because,
found last night. So anyway,
um,
I don't know. It is so far buried. When I was doing all the looking, I said, what in the world? Anyway,
See what
it'll be corrected. It's on our site, the right ones, right?
yes.
Everything is right on our site.
And I took it
That
from the
rhymes, doesn't
county. This
Yeah,
one's from
but
Board of Elections.
I went way down and it kept going and going further and further back before I could get to it. Anyway,
Oh,
forget it.
no, I put it on in my own words. That's why ours is right.
Good. Thank you.
Yes.
So anyway, we do know that the board's actual office in the Georgetown area will not be one of the early sites where you can vote. The Board of Elections, where you voted for during early election times, will not be one of the locations where you can vote. There are 5. That's not one of them.
Mm.
We've got all the rest of them listed. All of them are listed on our Facebook page.
Yes, the Board of Elections has chosen not to do early voting there. They have
Okay.
moved their site to the Onslow Pines Park Meeting Room on Onslow Pines Road at the Recreation Park.
Good luck. If you don't know where it is, go to the comments. The
It's weird.
early voting will start at 6:30. No, what time does it start? Early voting.
That's another thing that I saw that they did. And
Okay,
I'm
we'll
like,
find out. It starts on the 15th of October anyway.
Excuse me.
15 October, the same day oyster season and
Yes.
hunting season starts. So go early and vote, and then go catch some oysters and bring them to me. It starts on the 15th of October, ends on the 31st of October, Halloween. So, if you haven't done it by 5 o'clock on the 31st, well, you still have the 3rd of November. You can go and vote. And
Right.
hopefully you'll be standing in a line.
All right, here we go. That's speech access.
Beach access.
Why am I clicking on that? Get
I
out
have
of there.
No clue.
Get out of there.
They're not going to vote on the beach, are they? They got a strand of
I saw
maybe
the
one of the
picture.
lifeguard stands.
Okay, let's see
Did you
what
hear
they
the pun
have.
there? At one
Yes.
of the lifeguard stands?
Yes. Okay.
No, I won't let up.
I saw the time on it and I thought it was a little unusual
I think it's like 8
because,
o'clock or normal.
but it's going to 7:30. Early voting, we never were out there that late. Okay, let me go to their site because that's what the county's showing to go to their site. Let's see. See what
We need
happens.
to all get together. All together. Come together. Well, refer to our site. We'll have it on our Facebook page.
Election info. Yeah, I saw the times and I was like, what? Early voting locations to be determined.
Yes, what I said.
Early voting dates and times to be determined.
That's the Board of Elections.
That's the Board of Elections site.
That's what I said.
I know you said that, but I'm just
Speaking of politics,
reiterating it.
speaking of politics, outgoing U.S. Senator Tom Tillis,
Bye.
representing North Carolina, is one of 2 Republicans who will not vote for the president's choice to become the next U.S. Attorney General. Not yet. Tillis and Trump have been at odds for a long time. I hope that Tillis has a personal, legitimate reason, and I'm going to tell you what he says in just a second, as to why he's not supporting the nomination. I don't think it has anything to do with the man or the nomination. He may have revealed his reason. I'll read what the news media is saying in just a minute. It would cause me some grief if his personal political feelings were his reason. I'm sure that a lot of folks, including me, can pick apart any nominee for any position made by any president over the last 40 years. But I'm very sure that nitpicking and a personal hatred for the president, any president, are not valid reasons. In this case, I would like to look closely at why Tillis is voting no. We're going to go into that. If he has information that supports a no vote, then the nominee should be examined closely. I agree with that. What Tillis said yesterday is that he's waiting for the president to honor a commitment that the president made to permanently eliminate the $2 billion anti-weaponization fund and to rewrite Trump's audit immunity language in a settlement agreement. Negotiations are ongoing for both of those, but honestly, I can tell you just not a whole lot about them. Here's what I did find. The anti-weaponization fund, according to reports, was created to compensate individuals who claimed they were targeted or mistreated by the federal government. The word claimed is a big word, and I'm concerned about that. I can claim a lot. If the government has a lot of money to offer, do I have to do anything other than claim that I was done wrong by our government? Who checks the claims? I need more information on that one. Claims. I can make any kind of claim I want, can I?
Yes, you can.
The government done me wrong. Give me $1 million.
You can make any claim you want
The
to.
audit immunity issue is a different story. It deals with the DOJ plan to provide immunity for Trump, some of his family members, the Trump organization, from IRS tax audits. Given the fact that a Democrat DOJ launched a number of attacks against Trump when he lost the 2020 election, I'm pretty sure that should a Democrat win in 2028, we would see more of the same. I don't know a lot of people. The bigger they are, the more likely it is that intense tax audits would find something somewhere. But to do it just for the sake of punishment or to irritate or because he's a political enemy is what would irritate me. And I can understand them wanting to put in there that kind of wording. However, if he has absolutely nothing to hide, then there should be no problem. The problem is that something as big as the Trump organization and his personal stuff along with the family members that are involved in all of this stuff. I doubt very seriously that you're not going to, that you can, it's kind of like driving on Interstate 40 and not violating the speed limit a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody violates the speed limit a little
does
bit.
it.
And if they wrote tickets for anybody and everybody that went 73 and a 70, which they can, by the way, if they write tickets for everybody who runs 73 miles an hour on the interstate, on the 70 mile per hour limits, they can write everybody down there. I don't think they'd have to get some more computers to handle all the bookwork. So that's my take on all of that. Okay.
Well, I do have the hours for early voting. The weekdays are 8 a.m. The polls will open and close at 7:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Saturdays, they're 8 to 3.
Okay.
I thought during early voting we closed, didn't we shut down at 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock?
I don't
6
remember.
o'clock? I don't remember, but
That's yesteryear.
as we came out the days, we're going to add the hours, aren't we?
Yeah, the marine forecast looking better for the next couple of days. Offshore today, northwesterly winds around 5 knots, becoming southerly this afternoon. There is going to be a shift in the winds. They've been out of the north for the last. They're slowly moving around to the south, and that's going to warm things up again at nighttime, likely. Seas 2 to 3 feet today. Sounds and rivers are going to be flat. Southeasterly winds tomorrow, 5 to 10. Seas 2 to 3. Be a great day for the next couple of days to get offshore, or at least today and tomorrow. Seas 2 to 3 tomorrow. Sunday, different story. Southerly winds kicking up a bit, 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. If you go early and come back by noonish, and you will avoid some of the afternoon nasties. Gust up to 25 knots on Sunday afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 6 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers are moderate chop, becoming choppy in the afternoon. A chance of showers with thunderstorms in the afternoon on Sunday.
Today, sunny with a high near 92 with a light and variable wind. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 70. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 89. Sunday, showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm, mostly cloudy with a high near 89. And it's going to be a little windy. Winds could gust as high as 24. Right now, it's showing Sunday at a 60% chance and Monday at an 80% chance. So right now, it looks like we may get some rain Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, it looks that way. My dad was one of those when it came time to put new tires on a car. In his later years,
I just trade.
He just traded. It was too much trouble.
These people.
So let me ask you this: did you need some new tires on your truck? Was it getting?
No, I had to have an oil change, so I
You
traded.
had to have an oil change, so you traded trucks yesterday.
Well,
You left from here yesterday morning. Hold on, guys. She left from here, sitting here. Said, "I got an appointment to get my oil changed." Up
Yes,
here at
and
the
my
dealer."
vehicle inspected.
I had to get the vehicle inspected too. But she left from here to go get her oil change. She came back with a new truck. What in the name of heaven?
Well,
is
it's
that all
not
about?
new, but it only has
New to her.
like 20,000 miles on it, and it's got so many bells. You should see me trying to figure out how to turn the windshield wiper on this morning. It's a button. It's not a.
Did you not read the manual last night?
I haven't had a chance.
You need to read that manual from cover to
Yeah,
cover.
I
You know that,
do.
right?
But what I like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
got an auxiliary thing where you can plug stuff in and hit a button. So guess what's going in this weekend? As soon as I figure out where to plug it in.
What?
My radio.
Well, be careful where you're going to plug it in.
I
'cause
know,
That
I know.
draws more current than a CB radio. Okay.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
Anyway, Lee over the Woodlands this morning with a brand new truck, 67 degrees. 29.96 inches of mercury. No wind, no rain,
No money.
no money. Joe in the Borough, 69 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.95 inches of mercury. No wind, no rain. Joe
Nice.
slipped on over to Emerald Isle and check out our Facebook page. Is it up there yet? Joe's picture.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Joe into UBI, a friend of ours, our fellow ham. He submits pictures most days of the week. Finds a pretty deal. Beautiful, pretty sunrise this morning. You might even see that on WITN at their sunrise, one of pictures of sunrise or whatever on WITN, because I sent it in for him this morning. So anyway, it was 74 degrees at Emerald Isle, 90% humidity, 30.0 inches of mercury. Winds were light 2 to 3 out of the west. Had some very small waves there at the beach. That's kind of nice, but not for the
Very
river
nice.
riders. Over in Jones County, Richard reporting 65 degrees, 100% humidity. He could see 9.9 miles away, 29.97 inches of mercury and rising. No wind, no rain. James over there, west over there, wherever is in Bladen County, Bladenburg area, 66 degrees, 98% humidity, calm, no wind. 29.96 inches of mercury and no rain. Randy riding around in his golf cart with his thermal cell thingamabobber to keep the skeeters off. He mentioned that, talked about that again last night. He said that sucker works. I know it works too. 64 degrees, 99% humidity. It protects me and his doggy, his sidekick Boomer. 29.95 inches of mercury, clear, calm, no rain. Lee, our swamp rat there in the back swamp, 63 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.91 inches of mercury, no wind, no rain. Dale in Riverbend this morning checked in, said it was 66 degrees, and it fell to 65 degrees. It's 99% humidity, 29.98 inches of mercury, no wind, no rain. In Onslow Bay, Ken was reporting 67.6 degrees, 85% humidity, no wind, no rain. Nobody had very much wind or any rain.
It was nice.
Ward and Cedar Point had 74 degrees, 87% humidity, 30.03 inches of mercury. Light variable breezes over there. Thing was moving around the whole compass. Bryan in the Borough, 68.7 degrees, 92% humidity, 29.64 inches of mercury. And in the studio here this morning, it was 68 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury. It was calm, and we've had no rain. And right now it was 68. It's now 69. So it's on the way. It's climbing up there. Don't know where it's going to end up.
I have got to do my backyard today. I've still not got it done. I'm going to have a bush hog.
That's because you needed to go trade.
No.
You needed to get some oil in your truck. So you spent the rest of the day trading.
You should see. It's got. Anyway, do you remember talking earlier this week about the Wisconsin brewery whose owner said that if Trump dies, he's going to give away free beer?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? His alcohol permit got suspended this past Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because he was importing beer.
I know. We talked about that.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it getting suspended. It actually did.
Yeah, well, they said they were suspending it. I don't know what they took effect.
They said they were going to, but yes, he did. His alcohol license was revoked. It was just
people
revoked.
that will go out who have bars. Not everybody. I do one in Wilmington.
Right.
He would go out and he would go to where they had beer on sale.
Mm-hmm.
He ran a little pool hall, and when they had beer on sale at one of the grocery stores, he would go buy it. He could buy it for like 45 cents a can. 45 cents a can. Take it back and sell it for $1, which was cheaper than he could buy it from the people who serviced him. He never got caught.
I had people who did that.
Yeah.
Know him very well.
The
go to food
little
line.
more difficult unless they walk in the door and happen to find that beer, which they did in Wisconsin. But the ALE guys in North Carolina, they routinely walk into bars, and the bars are required to keep the bottles and do all that sort of
all
good
your
stuff.
records and
But
everything.
here's one of the sneaky things they will do. They will walk behind and they will pull out a bottle, and they will just put a little mark of their own at a spot that you won't even see.
Hey.
And then when they do that and they come back later and they find out that particular bottle has got more liquor in it than it had before, then they get excited. Here's what some
we used to own a bar.
Here's what some naughty bartenders will do, or bar managers will do, bar owners will do. They will go to the regular liquor stores and they will buy liquor everybody else does. It's cheaper than going to the liquor by the drink outlet of ABC store, because there's one store generally in every county. Some of the larger counties, I'm sure, have more, but there's one place that the bars can go and buy liquor, and they have to pay more per bottle. So some of the less than scrupulous bar owners will take the bottles that they came with the tax stamp on it and everything else showing it came from that store, and they will fill it up with liquor from
we used to own a bar.
place.
I remember. I can remember someone else in the family buying it from a store, then popping it in the cooler, which is, you can't do that.
Yep.
But
Anyway,
that was way long time ago. I don't ever want to be in that again. But this guy was charged with transporting liquor from another state without the proper permits or licenses or taxes.
He had nothing going for
Oh,
him.
he's going to fight it tooth and nail.
Good for him.
Good for him. But you know
Here we
what?
go.
Shut up and stay off of social
I'm gonna be
media.
a poet. He gonna fight a tooth and nail on his way to jail.
Well, you know what? Had he not gotten all over social media and made all these remarks and stuff, he'd probably still be bringing in beer from Illinois.
What he had done, he had posted up there, if the day a high-ranking individual, he never named him, the day that this high-ranking individual, we all know who it is, dies, free beer for everyone.
That, you know, why would you put that all over social media, though?
'Cause
You're
you are
inviting people
Stupid.
to start looking,
Yeah.
and that's exactly
Now,
what
if-
happened.
If one of these individuals, and we know about, what was that guy's name? Hinckley? Who
Yes.
say just because he wanted to get the attention of Jodie Foster, he
Mhm.
shot a president.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that well.
Who's at fault there?
Well, Mr. Hinckley. But you know, the thing about it is, it's just like people, I've seen a lot of people put a lot of garbage on social media, and then they wonder why people come after them.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't put anything political on my personal page. I learned a long time ago. A long time ago. I put something, when the school children were shot, there was quite a few of them. It was a couple of years ago. It was such a sad time, and all I did was pray for the children and such. I had 30 comments on there
Yes,
within
I know.
30 minutes of people making it political. I was so mad. I took it down.
Just
You know.
what you can do if you post something there, you don't want a bunch of stupid people out there.
You can
'cause there are
cut
a
the
bunch of
comments off, but it's
no comments and just.
But when you do that, every post you put will be no comments, and so then you have to go back and I shouldn't have to do anything. Why can't you? If you want to say something political, do it on your own page, but don't do it all over. Like, well, that's all because of who's president. Blah blah blah. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
These children didn't. They went to school to learn. They didn't deserve the fate that was handed down. Sick people in this world.
A Swansboro man,
Oh, yeah.
he traveled across the bridge there over to Carteret County, and he did some things he shouldn't have done. Well, he got arrested. He's been convicted now of breaking into a woman's home and assaulting her.
Oh.
He's going to spend a little bit of time in prison. A judge sentenced John Thomas Hyler to a minimum of 8 years and 9 months in the big house. We'll see. Hyler pleaded guilty to charges that included assault with a deadly weapon, inflicting serious injury, possession of a gun by a previously convicted felon, and second-degree kidnapping. In 2025, evidence presented showed that Hyler, using a rifle, forced his way inside the home of a 61-year-old woman. She had just walked onto her porch. It's a woman that he knew, 61 years old. He held her against her will and assaulted her, causing serious injury. This happened on Old Church Street in Carteret County. The victim managed to get away and called the sheriff's office. Deputies located the man near the home, took him into custody, then located his car and the rifle he used nearby. So go ahead and ask me, where should I start?
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Hyler's conviction criminal record prior to this week Misdemeanor assault on a female, misdemeanor violation of a worthless piece of paper inappropriately called a protective order, misdemeanor possession of drugs, drug use and possession of drug paraphernalia, common law robbery and breaking and entering, willful and wanton damage to personal property, assault and threatening a government employee, damage to property. With each of these crimes over the years, he was given a suspended sentence, ordered to serve some sort of community service, and placed on probation. Then he was arrested for breaking and entering with the intent to terrorize, a felony in which his probation was revoked, and he was sentenced to serve 10 months in jail, of which he did. A couple years later, he was arrested again, then convicted for being a felon in possession of a gun. And once again, he was given a suspended sentence and placed on probation. Now he gets to spend some quality time in prison on the other charges. It would be worthwhile noting, and his name, I think what we need to do is create a list and put his name to a list of other scums who are sentenced to years in prison by judges to see when they actually get released on parole. See, there's a thing called a parole board that can circumvent what judges sentence people to do. He breaks laws, admits to breaking laws, skates without any significant punishment time and again, and some parole board in the future will, without any doubt, turn this man back into society where the good people of Carteret County will have to live with him walking among them. How does that make them feel?
You said something and it just brought to mind about a new change. North Carolina's 2026 state budget has shifted control of the ankle monitor program. And we know what that is. It's a system that tracks defendants on court order, no contact orders, from the North Carolina Criminal Justice Information Network to the State Bureau of Investigation now.
Who do we have?
We have Steve.
Oh, we have Steve from Swansboro. He's around here neck of the woods there, Steve. What you going to do about it?
He's cut it.
I hear you. Sounds like they scooped him up, luckily.
Yeah, luckily they got him again.
Yeah.
But he keeps getting arrested.
Maybe this one will stick.
No, for a little while. No, he's sticking. He's got an 9-month sentence in prison, but we know how that works.
Yeah, I heard you say minimum, and maybe that'll hold true, but we all know that, due to logistics, they let prisoners out earlier than they should.
Well, it's not only the prisons let them out. That's on good behavior that they can serve a minimum to a maximum, and generally the prisons will do that. The parole boards can turn them out before then. He can apply for parole next week if he wants to, but he won't be eligible. But, in a year, maybe instead of 8 years and 9 months, well, yeah, he'll come before a parole board or two.
Yeah.
And he'll be a good boy. I've found God.
Yeah, I tell you, there's a lot of variables involved within parole boards, and sometimes it ain't always in the benefit of the public.
Nope.
That might be something that we need to look into.
Yeah, eliminate them would be the best thing.
Yeah. Hey, I looked up yesterday where you talked about Ukraine and bombing a Russian cargo ship in the Caspian Sea. Turns out they bombed 3 Russian vessels, 2 cargo ships, and one they called a missile launcher. One of the cargo ships, they killed a civilian sailor, and they publicly apologized.
Was that Russian ships or Iranian ships? The one that was in the news that they talked about was an Iranian ship.
One was flagged as a Russian ship, and they hit that one, and they didn't apologize for that. And they said that was basically a legal target because it was carrying weapons.
Carrying weapons, right? Yep. Civilian ships carrying weapons to their enemy is a legal target.
Right, they bombed 3. They issued an apology for one of the 3.
That was the Iranian ship.
It may have been. I didn't go that far, but I did go into it that far. I said yesterday, I said, well, they must have bombed 2 because I heard a completely different story. And then when I looked into it, that was exactly the case. They had bombed 3, actually, on that. Another note talking about Trump and Phyllis not wanting to vote for Blanche and the other Republican senator not wanting to vote for Blanche over the weaponization fund. That's an interesting scenario there because Tom Blanche says that it's dead, but he won't put it in writing. They also are not wanting to do away with the immunity clause for Trump and his family from the IRS for anything they have done or ever will do.
Correct. That's what we were just talking about.
That right, and that I mean, I'm not trying to pass any judgment on Trump or his family, but they have started a crypto fund where they've made billions of dollars from people we cannot identify.
Mm-hmm.
Trump pardoned a guy who was put in prison because he was laundering money for Hamas and Hezbollah through a crypto account. And now he's helping them run their crypto account. Now, if you couple that with that they can never be investigated by the IRS, that gives them the, I ain't saying they will, but it gives them the potential to be the biggest money laundering operation in the world.
Yep.
And, so I can understand how, that seems insane to give somebody, because every bit of dark money in the whole world will try and go through the Trumps if we give them that.
The absolute very most that I would reluctantly agree to if I was if anybody ever asked me, the very most that I would agree to as far as immunity on anything is anything that has occurred up until this date. Nothing that occurs in the future, everything out that you do in the future is fair game. Unfortunately, in this case and in most immunity deals, that's not the way things are written. They want to have them, give them immunity for life. And I totally disagree with that. Especially if you have had a habit, and they do this for bad people, bad guys all the time. We'll grant you immunity from yada, yada, yada for anything you've done up until now, but we need something from you. That's the way it works. DAs, attorney generals, they generally do not want to grant immunity to somebody who's committed crimes for the rest of their life. I mean, good God, give them the key to Fort Knox.
Right.
You want to grant me immunity for anything I will ever do in the future? Yeah, buddy, get out of the way because a problem's coming.
And also, Blanche would not guarantee that the weaponization fund, that none of the money would go to January 6th rioters who assaulted and were convicted of assaulting a police officer. They wouldn't guarantee that. They said anybody can apply.
Anybody can apply, yeah. And I see, which I just totally disapprove of that whole thing.
Well,
the way it's written, the word claim is the one deal breaker for me. They claim that they have been wronged by the federal government. Wrong. Nope.
Right.
I've been wronged by the federal government. Where's my money?
But
right.
What? Do they have to prove it?
And here's from my understanding, I'm no lawyer, but this is the legal issue that I've seen all the lawyers talking about, is that Donald Trump sued Donald Trump in this case. And because that was a conflict, you can't sue yourself because you can't be the head of an organization and sue that organization. It was getting ready to be thrown out of court in Florida, and that's when Todd Blanche came up with this settlement, out-of-court settlement. And even the judge, there's a whole thing going on about how what they did may not have been legal because the judge didn't sign off on it.
Was Trump? I say I don't really pay attention to a bunch of that crap that the trolls can do, and I don't do it. I don't care about it. Did Donald Trump sue the Donald Trump organization, or did he? He couldn't sue himself, but did he sue the organization?
He sued the U.S. government.
Okay.
Because somebody leaked his tax returns during the time he was president in his first term, and now he's president in his second term, suing the government that he leaked.
Well, that can be done because that was done for a private thing against a citizen illegally. Somebody leaked it. That was illegal.
Well, it was his IRS that leaked it. Somebody in the IRS leaked it. It wasn't a private individual.
Whoever it was leaked it. That's a criminal act.
The courts and all the lawyers had agreed that you can't do that. You can't be the plaintiff and the defendant in a suit. And I don't know, man. I'm no lawyer. I'm just telling you what all the lawyers said is that you can't be the plaintiff and you can't be on both sides.
Okay, let me just throw one at you here, real local here. I mean, really local, Jacksonville, North Carolina. A sitting city councilman sued the city of Jacksonville for an act back in the 90s?
Yes, I believe so.
He sued them. How does that work?
I would ask a lawyer, man, because once again, I just said I'm not a lawyer. I don't understand how they all come to that conclusion, but they come to that conclusion that the judge came to that conclusion as well.
And it went through.
I don't know if they're right. I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's what all them said, and they said they were going to throw it out of court because of that.
Yeah.
And so they did a real quick agreement outside of the court.
Police officers have sued the department that they work for.
And I understand that. That's slightly different. They weren't the head of the department they were suing. And the same thing with the city council. They weren't the head of the city. I don't know if that makes a difference. Once again, I'm speculating. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just telling you what the reporting is.
Well,
and they also the reporting is that judge has filed a complaint that they believe fraud was committed on the court over that. So I mean, I can understand why a couple of senators are saying until this mess is straightened out, we're not going any further. And something right quick about Tom Tillis. I know you talked about him a couple of times over the last few days. In my viewing of Tom Tillis recently, have not seen any time that he has said one harsh thing about Donald Trump.
Oh, he won't say it, but his actions.
He has said
a lot.
He has said that his advisors are stupid, and he needs to stop listening to them. I've heard that, but I've never once. And if anybody can find where he has said about him,
I'll have to pull that
up. I'd be interested to hear it.
There's been quite a bit that he has done.
I know what he's done. That kind of has been a finger in the eye of Trump. I get that. And he said he won't go and vote for this or vote for that just because he was told to. But I have not seen anywhere where he said something derogatory about Trump specifically.
On a personal level or a presidential level?
We're just saying that he was dumb or he was making the mistake. He kept throwing it to his advisors. Every time I've seen him, he throws his advisors to Trump under the bus, not Trump. And so I think that's a distinction worth mentioning. And Thomas Massey's the same way. Thomas Massey's never said anything derogatory about Trump.
Okay, well, I will dig into it a little bit.
If you can find something, please do it then, because I've tried to find it myself.
I will do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
All righty, guys. I was trying to think there was one other thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember. So
You've run out of breath.
Y'all have a blessed weekend.
You too.
You too.
An attack at a Sonic drive-in?
I'm telling you, you can't go anywhere, Rayford. Can't go anywhere.
Well, there's a lot more to the story, but what's going on? Police in Greenville have arrested two men they say attack a Sonic drive-in employee, leaving him unconscious in the parking lot.
Oh, man.
Happened Wednesday night about 9:30. Police identified the two men they arrested as 19-year-old. Oh, my. Put the glasses on, try to read this one, all right? Tremarion Ruffin and 37-year-old Reginald Smith. They're charged with assault, inflicting serious injury. Both were jailed without benefit of bond.
Oh, mercy.
The 37-year-old victim was taken to the hospital for treatment. Police said the three had been arguing in the parking lot, but it's not known what the argument was about or what the motive for the assault was. I'm not sure that as an employee of a drive-in that you ought to be able to be called out. You should not go outside. I don't care who's out there for whatever reason. that doesn't mean that it's right for them to beat you and leave you unconscious in the parking lot.
I agree.
I don't care what the motive was or what the issues were. No. Looks bad on the Sonic place, and it gives them some bad pub. And also, it's just not right. So I'm the victim in this case. I'm sure he's got some explaining to do, and I guarantee he's going to say, I don't want to press charges because it was my fault too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll have to wait to see.
Right.
Why?
Well, there
Come on
was
out here. Somebody walk in here and say, Lee, get up. Come on out here. Let's just get out here right now.
There was a video posted on Facebook a couple months ago about a young lady, I think she was new, working at McDonald's and got into a confrontation with a customer in the parking lot. And I'm like,
why?
Go back in the building.
Just turn around and leave.
Just turn around and
I know
leave,
they
go
come
back
out.
in.
They've got people that are waiting at the,
It's not worth arguing, right?
Just go outside. Here it is. You got to argue about it. Come inside. You can talk to the manager.
Right.
No, we're not going to argue here in the parking lot. I got no dog in that fight.
Well, I don't know if she was leaving and they confronted. I don't know, but there was a confrontation in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And speaking of McDonald's, I saw this one up here on Western is closed again, or did it ever open again? Remember, it had a fire and then it was closed. I thought it reopened, but I noticed there's a sign out there that says temporarily closed again. So
up here on Western, where?
Right next to CVS, right here at Western and Country Club.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seldom go that way.
Probably
light there never lets me go through. It takes me 2 days on a night to get through that light.
This is a story that I found last week, and I've never had a chance. Well, I've not taken the chance to talk about it. But we talk about fraud with a lot of our programs like Medicaid, SNAP, welfare, all these different programs that we have to help people who need it. This one really took the cake for me. A 64-year-old North Carolina woman by the name of Linda Faye Howe of Rockingham has been indicted by the federal grand jury in Charlotte for allegedly orchestrating a scheme to defraud the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Discrimination Financial Assistance Program of more than $9 million. $9 million. Prosecutors allege that from January 2024 to August 2024, she submitted fraudulent applications for herself and others containing false information to make applicants appear eligible for rewards. In some cases, she is accused of soliciting and receiving kickback payments from applicants after they received the funds. Now, the DFAP was created in 2022 under the Inflation Reduction Act and was designed to compensate farmers, ranchers, and forest landowners who experienced discrimination in the USDA farm lending before January 2021. Individual awards were capped at $500,000 each. But she faces 1 count of mail fraud and 6 counts of making false, fictitious, and fraudulent claims to a federal program.
She was making the claims for herself?
For herself and for other people. She would get other people getting kickbacks from those people she got money for.
Absolutely.
But what gets me is, why don't we have tighter regulations on when we receive an application? I mean, evidently.
There should not be one person overseeing that.
$9 million? $9 million she defrauded?
There should be another layer that's not even connected directly with her, people that they don't even know, not even in the same state that they're in, overseeing these things. I mean, we have it for everything. Let's just look at this. You put an application in for a Marine who has seen,
right,
who has done heroic deeds,
yes,
who has saved other men, who may have died while doing this. You put his name up as a Medal of Honor recipient. Do you think it's just going to go through in the word of you and one other person? Oh, absolutely not. Even if it's deserved, it's not going to go through. It's not going to sail through. There are multiple levels, but the problem is a couple of those levels are by the same person.
Well, this case was investigated by the USDA Office of the Inspector General, the FBI Charlotte Field Office, and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations Financial Crimes Unit. The USDA Inspector General John Walt called the program a vector for criminals to defraud the taxpayers. And that's who pays for this.
So who's going to go back and get that money back?
How did it get to $9 million? Wouldn't you start seeing red flags a lot earlier?
$500,000 each, that's only 18 people.
But it's still,
Over what period of time? I don't know. But anyway,
6 months,
why is it
8 months.
Why is it okay to spend all of this money to investigate it, but not okay to spend money to prevent it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It seems like if she was able, if she was able to siphon over $9 million, then where were all the safeguards?
How about anybody else in that position in other locations? Is it happening? Are they checking all the others, or do they just wait to get a tip on this one?
FBI Special Agent in Charge Reed Davis emphasized that when federal programs are defrauded, every taxpayer becomes a victim.
I don't care about that political
and
BS
fighting
response.
fraud is a top FBI priority. Well, $9 million later? $9 million later?
How much more? Is there any more? Have you checked? Are you checking? What are the chances that this is the only person doing it?
I'm just saying that, how much further would she have got? $9 million is a long ways. I mean,
What were you doing on this date 51 years ago today?
What?
What?
Rayford, I don't remember yesterday.
51 years ago today?
51.
Some dude disappeared. Were you involved? Do you know where you were?
I didn't
do it. Do you have a witness?
I didn't do it.
I've heard that before.
I was in the crib.
Not in 1975, you were. Do you have anyone to verify that you were not involved in this? You don't know where you were on this date.
No, I don't.
So how can you say you weren't involved in it?
So there's millions of other people that aren't aware of what they were doing 51 years ago.
I found out this guy's middle name is Riddle. It's kind of interesting.
Riddle. That's interesting.
James Riddle Hoffa.
Well,
Jimmy Hoffa disappeared on this. He was reported missing on this date in 1975. His middle name is Riddle. What a riddle.
I was going to say Hoffa, but I didn't want to be wrong, so I didn't say anything.
Well, then you were wrong. One of the most influential American labor leaders of the 20th century officially reported missing after he failed to return home the previous night.
He's under contract.
Though he is popularly believed to have been the victim of a mafia hit. Yeah. Conclusive evidence was never found, and neither was his fate. It remains a mystery today.
Could have been his wife.
It's still a riddle. Born in 1913 to a poor coal miner in Brazil, Indiana, Jimmy proved a natural leader in his youth. At the age of 20, he helped organize a labor strike in Detroit and remained an advocate for downtrodden workers for the rest of his life. Hoffa's charisma and talents as a local organizer quickly got him noticed by the Teamsters and carried him upward through its ranks.
I would say so.
Until then, a small but rapidly growing union, the Teamsters organized truckers across the country, and through the use of strikes, boycotts, and some more powerful, though less legal methods of protest, won contract demands on behalf of their workers. Hoffa became president of the Teamsters in 1957. When his former leader was in prison for bribery as chief, Hoffa was lauded for his tireless work to expand the union and for his unflagging devotion to even the organization's least powerful members. His caring and approachability were captured in one of the more well-known quotes attributed to him. You got a problem? Call me. Just pick up the phone. That was his quote on how to deal with business. Hoffa's dedication to the worker and his electrifying public speeches made him wildly popular, but among his fellow workers and the politicians and businessmen with whom he negotiated, yet for all the battles he fought and won, and on behalf of American drivers, he also had a dark side. In Hoffa's time, many Teamster leaders partnered with the mafia in racketeering, extortion, and embezzlement. Hoffa himself
There
had
you go.
relationships with high-ranking mobsters and was the target of several government investigations throughout the 1960s. In 67, he was convicted of bribery and sentenced to 13 years in prison. While there, Hoffa never ceded his office. He ran the Teamsters from behind bars. Nixon commuted his sentence in 1971. He was poised to make a comeback. Released on condition of not participating in union activities for 10 years, Hoffa was planning to fight the restriction in court when it just disappeared on the afternoon of July 30th, 1975. Disappeared from the parking lot of a restaurant in Detroit. Go figure, not far from where he got his start as a labor organizer. The family filed a missing persons report. And there remains
The mystery.
Jimmy Hoffa's legacy.
Somebody in her comments said, look at the criminal records of Jesse Gabriel Marks in North Carolina. And so I looked him up, and that story was in 2020. He pled guilty. He was sentenced to 360 months in prison for sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. The sentence also requires him to pay $249,700 in multiple restitution. According to court documents and other information presented in court, Marks, 38, no relation to our Marks here, prostituted hundreds of women, including at least one minor, over nearly 2 decades. He used drugs. After meeting Marks, many victims either develop addictions or deepen their addictions. And wow, I don't remember this guy. I don't remember. It was Jacksonville, man. I don't remember him. Jesse Marks?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this.
Don't either.
That's crazy. But it says Jacksonville.
Is he still in jail?
He should be.
Well,
He was sentenced to 360 months, so 12, that's 30 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I hope he's still in jail.
Well, I can check
In
the Department of
prison.
Corrections.
Yes. Do that.
Oh, you got something you want to sing? Maybe a little. You can dance. Why don't you get up and do a little
No.
shuffling?
While you look at let me write down the name. Is Jesse, Jesse, Gabriel Marks. Marks, like our Chris Marks. It said the Onslow County Sheriff's Office, the NCIS, and Jacksonville Police Department investigated the case, and Assistant U.S. Attorneys Aaron Blondell and Brian Stephanie prosecuted the case. Wow. And this guy's a real winner.
Well, what's a real winner is
He's a real loser, actually.
this computer right now is a real
Right.
winner. I will tell you right now.
Wow. He also gave women drug cocktails without their knowledge. Oh, that's Steve Cohen again. And once they were unconscious or nearly unconscious, he sexually assaulted them. And he recorded many of those on video. Hang on, Steve. Wow, I don't remember this.
I don't remember it either, but when did it happen?
Well, he pled guilty in September 24th, 2020. So,
Okay, well.
up to that point, he was arrested.
Making Steve, you're back.
Yes.
Hey guys, sorry to call again, but I remembered the one thing I wanted to talk about, and it was more important than all that other stuff.
Well, then we're going to erase all the other stuff and start again. How's that?
Okay. I wanted to tell you about my garden and an experiment I had this year and what conclusion I've drawn from it. In my raised beds where my tomatoes were, I planted some pole beans periodically.
Oh, really?
Throughout them, because you may know this already, but pole beans, their roots put off little nodules of nitrogen, and they put nitrogen in the soil.
I've heard that, yes.
And it will help feed the plants. Okay, so I was like, well, let me try that and see if I can get, some bigger, better tomato plants out of them. Okay, what I noticed is where I put those pole beans, and they grew real well right along, outside the tomato plants or whatever, those tomato plants grew really green and lush.
Oh, really?
I mean, they were really pretty green tomato plants. Problem was they didn't put off no tomatoes.
Everything went to the leaves.
My conclusion is it had too much nitrogen and it's not flowering.
Okay.
That too much nitrogen will cause that.
I never.
So,
okay.
The conclusion I've drawn now is that yes, it does put nitrogen in the ground, but it puts too much in there.
But did you get any? Did you get some good beans?
It grew a bunch of beans, but I've also got another issue where I've got some little critter in the garden that has latched onto those beans.
A rabbit by any chance?
No, these are like you can see them. They're little bugs, and they're like all over these beans.
Yeah,
but they're not on the tomato, which is right beside the beans. So I've left the beans alone. I'm letting them have the beans, and as long as they don't spread to the tomato, I'm gonna let them keep having the beans. The sacrificial. So, because I don't want to spray any poisons because of all my dragonflies and my lizards and all that stuff that's running around. Yeah,
I understand.
But yeah, I found that out is that maybe if I put those, I might put beans near something that doesn't flower. Like my Swiss chard or something like that next year. But I believe I finally got into too much nitrogen because I got beautiful plants with almost no tomatoes on them.
That's odd.
I'd heard that before, that if you use like regular Miracle Grow, it's got too much nitrogen and it can cause you not to have blooms. So that's why I drew that conclusion from that, was that I've heard many times too much nitrogen gives you really green plants with no fruit. So, but yeah, that was where I came from on that. So and it might have been because I had brand new potting soil.
Yeah.
That it had a nitrogen in it as well. I may have just came in it from too many different angles. It may have been if it was actual ground soil, then the nitrogen may have not been too much. Yeah. But I thought that was an interesting little experiment that I did this year and how it turned out. I wanted to share it with you.
All right, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it appears that too much nitrogen will have an effect on how many tomatoes you have. And they still put off some, but I mean, I got other ones in a different container right beside it that put off 12, and it put off 2. And the one that put off 12 don't look as healthy as the one that put off 2.
As long as the tomatoes, you're after the fruit, you're not after the plant.
Yeah. And so I want to share that with you. And before I get out, I heard you say, Lee, about fraud and how it amazes you how these people do all this stuff, and it made me think. I've seen a story where somebody stole used cooking oil from a restaurant.
I heard of that before.
If used cooking oil can move somebody to a life of crime, I can only imagine how enticing $9 million would have been.
And the funny thing is, there was a restaurant. It was one of the. It was a fast food. It was a seafood fry restaurant. They primarily their seafood was fried. It was a luncheon place and a dinner place in Wilmington. It was not a fine dining place. How you want your food, fried or fried, that kind of thing, right? So they gave away their used cooking oil to anybody that wanted it. That way they did not have to dispose of it. They had it in big old containers, the same kind of containers that they bought it in, 5-gallon containers, because people were refining it slightly and using it in their trucks.
Biodiesel, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they were giving it away.
I think the people stole it for. But now I believe there's like some people who paid for the oil.
Yeah, they are.
And so that they don't give it away like they used to. They used to give it away to people.
Well, we addressed that a while back. There is a state law against the theft of cooking oil.
Well, I hope so.
The punishment depends on the value of the stolen grease. Class 1 misdemeanor, if the value is $1,000 or less, you can get up to 120 days in jail and or a fine. And a Class H felony is if the value is more than $1,000, you can get 4 to 25 months in prison and or
You know what
a
I would
fine.
do with them in prison if I was a warden? You steal cooking oil, you're going to the kitchen and you're going to cook and clean.
It is unlawful to take or carry away or aid in taking transporting any waste kitchen grease container if its contents if the container bears a notice prohibiting that, or to intentionally contaminate or damage any waste kitchen grease container or place a label on a waste kitchen grease container without knowing it belongs to another person. But it goes into it is a state law, and I remember talking about it when we were talking about
What my takeaway from that is there was enough people that were driven to a life of crime for cooking oil that they had to pass that law.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes.
You know, $9 million. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine how many people would fall, fall over that, I'd like to say I wouldn't, but, I mean,
You thought you could get away with $9 million?
I hope I never get put in that position.
No, gotcha.
I don't want to be tested. Not because I think I would fail, but because I've seen so many other people fail.
Well, if your luck runs like mine, which is, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. And you can rest assured that I'd be the first person that they would catch under whatever that new law is doing anything.
Well, I found a shoebox full of $100 bills one time, and I turned it in.
Did you?
Where did you find it?
Yeah. It was in a house that we were moving.
Wow.
They sent them to pack it up, and the people who left it under the bed.
My luck, it would be counterfeit.
Well, I went and got the people who were in charge and showed it to them and had them take possession of it. There was also a .357 Magnum laying on top of the cash in the bar.
Yeah.
So,
my luck, it was used to shoot somebody.
I ain't touching that.
I probably would have called the law if I found a box full of $100 bills with a revolver on the top of it.
Oh, yes, I would have.
That's just a me thing there.
Well, I was doing the work for somebody, so I had to report to a supervisor.
I understand, but comes a time.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about? There was only one alley in Curie Beach, right? There was one alley in the downtown area. There were just a very few businesses in that area, and of course, Curie Beach is very small. If you've never been there, it's a small area. There. But in the middle of the night, I would always check this alley because there were occasions that we would find people coming out of there that were, had been dealing drugs in the alley. So me being a drug dog myself, I love drugs, and I would use
what?
I do. I like working drugs. That's my thing.
Working drugs,
that is my deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I would slip around wait for it to get my eyes to get accustomed to the dark, and at all hours of the day and night, I'd slip back there, go down through the alley, and come out the other end. And I did that many times. At one night, there's a $20 bill lying there in the alley. I turned it in as found property.
Uh-huh.
And the last time I checked, that was in 1997, 8, somewhere along there. The last time I checked, sometime around 2010, just for giggles, I asked the chief who was there at the time, is that $20 bill still in found property? He said, yes. For there it shall remain. It should have been put in the bank and drawing interest, I guess. But anyway, I don't know what they finally did with it, but it was a $20 bill. It was there for at least 10 years.
Yeah, I got it.
Because, you just never know. Somebody could have,
Could have been setting you up.
For me, it could have been a setup.
That's right.
Or for anything else, it could have been a drug deal. And if we had found somebody to come and claim it, and we did not find any drug paraphernalia, we dusted it. We ran it to see if there's any dealing going on back there, which is what I suspected. But anyway, it was probably somebody in there making other deals other than drugs.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
Yeah, I tell you, I've never been one much for lying, and it's mostly because I'm bad at it. And you can tell it from a mile away.
Yeah.
Even if I try and tell a lie as a joke, I stutter. I'm really bad at it. I get all nervous, and so just like with that cash I found, man, it scared me to death. I didn't want nothing to do with it.
You would be
I didn't even want to go in the room no more.
You would be the guy that the police would love to. You would confess to things you had never even known about, right? If they confused you of them. I believe, here's what I've got. Steve, I think I could solve a lot of unsolved crime. But where were you on July 30th, 1975? When Jimmy Hoffa
disappeared? I don't believe I would ever pass a lie detector, even if I was telling the truth.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm that type of person.
All right, Steve, thank you.
Anyway, once again, y'all have a blessed weekend. Enjoy the sunshine to it. It ain't there no more on Sunday.
Yeah, or tonight and sunset. Bye.
Yeah, that's
See
it.
ya.
I have been reading up on this Jesse Marks.
Well, let me read you his.
He was a Marine at the time.
Let me-
Stationed right here.
Yeah, he's 43 years old now, right?
Yes, should be, yes. I would
Okay,
say.
I'm just going to go through rapidly because we don't have time for all of it. Started in 2002, larceny B&E vehicles, another time, got suspended sentences. B&E vehicles, again, a felony, suspended sentence again, probation. Larceny over $200, he was a principal in that. In 2003, probation again. Operating a vehicle without a license. Go figure. How about that? 2004, he got community service, probation again, suspended sentence, driver's license revoked twice.
We sure that's the right, because he was in the Marine Corps at the time. He wouldn't be in the Marine Corps if he had all those previous arrests.
This is all. Do you have a date of birth on him?
No, I do
I
not.
got his. Let's see.
They said there was another Jesse Marks incarcerated in Guilford County, the prison there, but it was not the same one. So I'm just wondering.
This is Jesse Gabriel Marks.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I'm looking at.
No,
Okay.
don't know.
So these are
Right.
the beginning stages. All right, back to 2002 and 3 and stuff like that. Driver's license revoked. I say drug paraphernalia, use, possession, principal, second degree trespass, possession of Schedule 6. Driver's license revoked again. Possession of the dope again. Loitering for prostitution. Now we're getting there. Loitering for prostitution in 2011. It's a misdemeanor. Suspended sentence again. Drug paraphernalia and other misdemeanors. Oh, that's weird. He went to the Department of Corrections active sentence. He spent in Onslow County. Well, he stayed in the jail in Onslow County, the jail here, from August until November that year. Spent 4 months. About then he got a DWI level 1. They went to prison for that that was the same as the other deal. He spent 4 months in the county jail.
Right.
At the same time for the other charges, concurrent. Prostitution soliciting in 2011. Oh my. Loitering for prostitution the same day, same time. He got another 4-month term in the Onslow County Jail. He's not learning. Possession of Schedule 1.
He's a little
he
thug.
spent another 3 months in the county jail. They ought to get tired of him there. Possession with intent to sell the dope. He spent what is this about? He spent 11 months? Spent 11 months. 11 months.
11
That's
months.
What he spent for that. After all those other convictions, assault, inflicting serious bodily injury, he spent a couple of years that time in prison, and those are the only convictions that he has here. Now you're saying that he's got what for what?
That
What did the prison? What is the story that you've got that?
he was incarcerated, sentenced to 360 months in prison for sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion.
I must have got a federal sentence.
This is the Eastern District of North Carolina, so I'm
that's
reading their
federal.
stuff.
He
Right,
won't show up in the North Carolina.
right.
He had an extensive
Eastern
record.
District of North Carolina. Yeah, he said he prostituted hundreds of women, including at least one minor, for over 2 decades.
Oh wow,
He used drugs, etc., stuff like that,
got that.
and then had sex with them while they were unconscious and videotaped a lot of them.
Scumbucket.
Yeah. So maybe he was already out, because those other charges that you read dating back to what, 2020?
2002.
2002.
Okay.
Yeah, he would have to be, yeah.
All right, looking at the marine forecast, northwesterly winds around 5 knots today. They're going to switch around to the south later this afternoon. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds of the rivers are going to be flat like Twiggy. Southeasterly winds tomorrow 5 to 10. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Wonder if she's still flat. Sunday, southerly winds 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gusts up to 25. Seas 2 to 4. Building to 4 to 6 in the afternoon. Do it in the morning if you can do it. Do it early. Come on home. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, becoming choppy in the afternoon. A chance of showers with thunderstorms in the afternoon.
Today, sunny day with a high near 92. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 70. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 89. Sunday, showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm, mostly cloudy with a high near 89. Chance of precipitation right now for Sunday is at 60%. And on Monday, we're looking at 80% precipitation and a high near 86. We'll wait and see how it develops over the weekend.
Okay, now, you never learned to dive.
No.
Is it too late?
Yes.
Let me just tell you why you might want to change your mind there.
Right.
On this date, it was a hurricane on the east coast of Florida. It sank 10 Spanish treasure ships, killed about 1,000 people. All of the gold and silver on board at the time would not be recovered until 250 years later. Some of it has not been recovered. Spain sent fleets of ships to the Western Hemisphere to bring back natural resources, including gold and silver. These groups of ships were heavily fortified against pirates, but there was little that could be done to protect them from bad weather. Those ships were, when they loaded them with gold and silver, they were loaded heavy. There was not a lot of what they call freeboard. The ships were way down in the water, and the sides of them were close to the ocean. Under normal conditions, gentle rollers, you're okay. Hurricanes, not okay. They, on July 24th, 10 of those ships and one French ship left Havana on their way to Europe carrying tons and tons of gold and silver, mostly coins, about 14 million pesos worth. The Spanish ships stayed very close to the Florida coast, as was their custom, while the French ship, the Griffon, ventured further out from the shore. A week later, as the ships were between Cape Canaveral and what is now Fort Pierce, the winds picked up dramatically. The hurricane advanced quickly, and one by one, the ships were wrecked. The Nuestra Senora de la Regla sank, sending 200 people and 120 tons of coins to watery grave. Another one went down with 120 sailors on board, and all somewhere between 700 and 1,000 people died. The Griffon was able to ride out the storm. Most of its crew survived. In the following months, Spanish officials in Havana sent ships to salvage the treasure. About 80% had been recovered by April of 1716. The rest remained lost until the 1960s. The way the ships were really hugging the beach. That's where they were. They liked to hug the beach of Florida to get up further and away, and before they made the run straight across to Spain. It would have been a shorter run out of North Carolina waters, for instance, to Spain than from Florida or Havana or wherever. There have been a lot of ships the gold has been recovered. There are reports, and of at least one of those vessels foundering off the North Carolina coast, either from that system, that storm in 1715, or another storm, another year, whenever. It's probably one of those that was swept up north and ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere off the coast of North Carolina. Divers have reportedly found it, but they're not saying anything about it. This was about 10 years ago. I would have thought if that was true, something would have surfaced by now, pardon the pun. But I do know that in the 1970s, early 70s, when I was doing commercial photography in Jacksonville, along with everything else that I was doing, a guy brought in a coin that he found on what was known as West Onslow Beach at the time, the empty area there, which is now North Topsail.
Right.
He brought in a Spanish coin that I photographed the front and the back of for him. He needed transparency, slides of it. So I photographed the front of it and the back of it close up so that he could use it to send to somebody to have it appraised. That's all I ever heard from him. I didn't even have a name. He wouldn't leave a name.
Wow.
He just stayed there while I photographed it
Right.
and we processed the film, and then he took it and left.
Wow.
Left us the money.
I won't be diving for coins. I'll leave that to you.
Millions of dollars?
Nope, not doing it.
You wouldn't do it.
No.
Why?
I just have no desire to want to
Well,
go
Shark
down.
Week will end on Sunday, right? Monday.
Yes.
So there won't be any problem with sharks, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, except for the contender that's running up and down the coast here. 1,700-pound
He only
shark.
comes around in when it's, time to
Yeah, okay.
celebrate Shark Week.
Sure. Oh, speaking of sharks, and it's Shark Week, here's some tips on how to avoid the sharks. First of all, don't
Stay
go
out
in
of
the water.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, don't go in the water at dawn or dusk because that's when they're most active and they're close to shore because they're feeding.
Oh, yep.
They're looking for,
Slow-moving people.
that. So don't swim near river mouths.
River-
Sharks like to feed
They-
there.
Why don't they in a mouth?
You got the new river going into the ocean.
Oh, there where the all the nutrients are. Where all
Yes.
the fish are and stuff.
Here's a very important one.
You
Don't
shouldn't
go
be
swimming.
there any-
Yeah, no, you shouldn't.
That was just
Don't go swimming by yourself. If you see no one on the beach, that's usually not a good place to go swimming.
yeah. And if you
Or a
swim
good
with
time.
2 or 3 other people, it lessens your odds of being the one that gets hit. Is that what you're saying?
True. And here's one. Don't go swimming near where people are fishing, like the piers, the fishing piers.
Yes.
Don't go swimming right up there next to the
bait
piers.
in the water to look for
Sharks like
fish,
that.
and sharks come looking for the
Right.
fish that they catch.
Don't wear something highly shiny like jewelry or sequins or anything
Those are
with
known
loose
as,
little mirrors that put out light.
those are known as fishing lures.
Yeah, well, sharks are curious predators, and they see something shiny and flashy in the water. They're going to go investigate. All right, here's one that I thought was really crazy. The crackling of a water bottle or even the crunching of a beer can sounds a lot like the crunching of fish bones to a shark and can make them come and investigate. Now,
Who gets in the water and crunches their bottle?
are you on a boat maybe and you're crunching it? And the sharks hear that?
I don't know.
I thought that was an unusual thing. But,
Sharks generally move with because of vibrations in the water.
well, no, this is a scientific study that said that the crackling of a water bottle or even the crunching of a beer can sounds a lot like the crunching of fish bones to a shark. And it can make them come and investigate. That you don't have to worry about. I'm not gonna go swimming with anything shiny. I don't go above the knees anymore.
Haven't you seen those sharks beach themselves?
Chasing
fish
that's
up on the
Sharknado.
No, they will swim after a school of fish, and they will actually end up on the surf, on the sand, and then they wait for the next wave, and they just keep wiggling
Well,
until
see,
they get back in the
the
ocean.
thing is, though, there's so many people
Come get you.
further than me because I'm in the surf. They're out there in the water. They're going to get them first before it comes for me. It's funny how you get older and things change. It used to be I would sit on a board for hours in
With
the
your
water
legs dangling
with
in the
my
water,
legs dangling.
waiting for the
You
shark.
know, and it just like,
I do.
I'm worried about a shark. Shark's not going to bother me. Nowadays, I go in knee deep, and if something hits my leg, I scream like a little girl and run.
You walk on the water and get out.
Oh, Lord, you talk about walking on water. Scream, squeal, yell, shark! It's a piece of seaweed. It's funny how when you get, like, do you do roller coasters?
No,
I
why?
used to.
I don't do any rides.
I used to do them back in the day.
I've seen those people who put those things together overnight.
Now I get on the swings that go out and go around, and I get sick of loose. But I rode a roller coaster in my day.
I never did. Never been on one.
It's funny how as you get older, things change. Like you're asleep by 8:30. Then up at midnight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. As you get older, your sleep patterns all get weird. You know, we were talking about fraud earlier, and I don't think we ever talked about our North Carolina State Auditor, Dave Bulliak. He's just like a machine.
Has he caught anybody?
Oh my goodness, left and right. Well, look, he just did an audit on the town of Cary a couple of weeks ago.
Probably deserves whatever.
Let me tell you, the investigative report released this past Thursday by State Auditor Dave Bulliak examined Cary's procurement card program, council expenditures.
What is a procurement card program?
That is like a Visa card they give you and you get so much money you can spend for government stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Council expenditures, financial reporting practicing, and the town's overall fiscal management after receiving complaints alleging financial misconduct by Stegall. Stegall evidently was a town manager. Anyway, let me just go and tell you some of the. As of late 2025, the town had issued 828 procurement cards, which accounts for about 62% of their employees.
What?
And Carolina's average across
Everybody's got a
municipalities is
got a credit card.
is like 16% on average with other municipalities around the state of North Carolina. These people had clocked 60,591 purchasing card transactions, totaling
For how much money?
24.2 million.
How much?
24.2 million.
24.2 million?
Among the transactions highlighted by auditors were $37,301 in graduate tuition paid on behalf of council member Lori Bush before she later reimbursed the town. $65,653 paid to a ghostwriter for a book about Stegall, which the town manager.
How many people got those cards? 62?
Yes. $3,419 penthouse hotel stay.
You know what the average
I'm afraid.
per person is?
What would that be?
$387,096.77
Here was
per
a
person with a card.
$3,419 penthouse hotel stay by Stegall. Why does he need a penthouse? And more than $86,000 spent on video production for the town's 2024 retreat in Wilmington. I could have done it on my telephone for cheap. The video included a surprise dance performance by the town staff. Then there was an additional.
Without clothes.
Yeah, I was just gonna. What kind of dance? Then there was an additional $35,000 for a documentary that told the story of how the video was produced. Rayford.
Oh, you got the biggest scam going.
That $86,000 was town staff approved, so the council wasn't aware that the town staff was spending the $86,000 according
Then the
to
city council needs to be fired.
Dave Bulliak during a Thursday press conference.
Starting
We'll
with the
let you draw
manager,
your
too.
own conclusion about whether that's a return on the investment of the tax
I don't have
dollars.
to draw any conclusion. It's a fact, Jack.
Taxpayer dollars.
Who did the taxpayers up there get any benefit from any of that?
Well, that's what he's saying.
If they
Draw your
didn't, then you're
conclusions.
fired and you got to pay all this back after once you get out of prison.
The report also questioned high-end meals, transportation expenses, Ray-Ban sunglasses for the council members, which are like $300-400, and more than $100,000.
Didn't it used to be about $12?
Well, it depends if you get the Amazon brand. And more than $100,000 in transactions that either lacked itemized receipts or had no supporting receipts at all.
There's a problem. Credit cards, those people won't even provide a receipt. See, the credit card doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't show you anything. You give them a credit card receipt and that's all you give. That doesn't spell out what's involved, right? You
This is
have
gonna
to,
be our
you
next
have to have an
governor.
itemized present.
Right.
You need to have an itemized receipt. That's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. It said auditors also found the town's spending outpaced revenue growth from recent years.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. While revenues increased by $81 million between fiscal years 21 and 25, expenditures grew by nearly $100 million, resulting in operating deficits in fiscal years 23 and 24.
Who was doing the annual audits?
I don't know.
Huh?
I
Who
don't know.
was checking this? Who was doing the budgets?
Oh, it found that the town's procurement card policies had not been updated since 2009. Here's a card. Go buy some Ray-Bans. Yeah.
Well, this is the way we've always done it. What's wrong with it?
Well,
It's crooked.
Daigle was placed on administrative leave in November 2025 after a public records request showed a series of major expenditures that several council members, including the mayor, said they were unaware of. Stagel then went on to resign 1 month later,
Well-
but multiple criminal investigations may remain ongoing.
Well, now it's time to arrest. Forget the investigations. You've got enough right now to arrest everybody.
Get it, Dave Buliak. I'm going to tell you
Arrest
what.
them. Send them to
I think
prison.
he's going to run for
Let them
governor
work it off.
2028.
Cooper's gone. He can't,
Oh,
expunge them or don't do away with. He can't pardon them. Somebody better put these people in prison. Is all I can tell you.
Here's one, how Foster stole a $1.3 million check from the town of Cary. Cary's like, they're in the
Who stole a
spotlight.
$1.3 million check?
Foster stole $1.3 million from the town of Cary this
A
spring
check?
by altering a check meant for a town contractor. The money was recovered after a police investigation. Questions about the check were raised after former Cary town manager Sean Stagel was placed on leave in late November over allegations of over-the-top spending. Yes. But anyway, the News and Observer received a tip about the check and submitted a records request. On April 11th, an accountant on the town's staff reported there was a check pending approval through Wells Fargo Positive Pay Program, and that's a fraud prevention measure. But anyway, the government finance, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I take it that they were able to stop it, but documents show the check.
Collect all the stuff.
Documents show
Millions of dollars wasted.
Documents show the check was meant for SAK Construction, a pipeline rehabilitation contractor in the amount of $1,326,000. Blah, blah, blah. But the name had been changed to One Stop #3 LLC.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Sound like a lot of hanky-panky there. Said according to public records, there was a flurry of emails between staff members and with representatives of the vendor trying to determine the location of the check.
uh-huh.
And it's like one official question, why did you issue a paper check? Why didn't you do a direct,
Right.
transfer of funds like most governments do now?
Not a cashier's check.
Yeah. But I can't see whether or not they were able to get the money back. Police department's investigating and reimbursement notice dated May 20th was included in the documents showing the town recovered all but $10. It didn't provide a reason for the $10 visit. What in the world? Cary's got some issues.
Uh-huh.
We need to send some good city council people out there like Jerome. He'll clean it up. Jerome will clean up Cary. Why don't you, Jerome?
That would be a good
He's
idea.
going to be calling me.
Send them up and let them take care of it.
Yeah.
We obviously, Cary needs some help.
And then a funny story, and then I'll be quiet and let you do yours. Kinston Police Department. We talked about this, but we never talked about it on air. They are clearing up a video circulating on social media that appeared to be one of his patrol cars being loaded onto a tow truck.
Okay.
This was a case of mistaken identity.
They picked up the wrong car.
They picked up the wrong car.
Did they bring it back?
According to the yes, officers were assisting the Department of Social Services on a service call, while at the same time in the same area, other officers were attempted to arrest an armed robbery suspect. Police said the suspect fled in a vehicle and crashed into a patrol car, disabling it. So they called for a wrecker to come get the disabled patrol car. However, police said the tow truck driver mistakenly loaded the wrong patrol car, one that had not been involved in the crash.
He didn't know.
That was at the scene working with the Department of Social Services
Nearby.
or something. But so the department says, let's recap. Assisted DSS took an armed robbery suspect into custody, had a patrol car wrecked, had a different patrol car accidentally towed, got the patrol car back. Oh, it was funny.
I can understand this. Okay, so, when I was doing wedding photography,
Right.
one of the other guys in the lab, in the company, he called me on a Saturday morning, or it could have been the night before, said, listen, I've got a problem. I can't shoot the wedding tomorrow that I've got scheduled. You don't have one, do you?
This.
And I said, no, I'm clear. I'm clean. Can you get over and do this one? I said, sure. Where is it? And he didn't have the exact address, but he had the street number. It was a street. And Wilmington, downtown Wilmington, if you've never been,
It's like Northwoods.
It's Steeple area, okay?
Mhm.
Steeple City, downtown. You can go out there and just pick a steeple. There are plenty of them. In this particular area, I showed up and I'm driving along the street and okay, there's everything happening. Oh God, there's the bride is already getting here. What the world? I parked my van, jumped out of it, camera in hand, and she's getting out of the limo that's bringing her to the church. Okay, she got to travel from home to the church. So I'm shooting pictures, and there's other dude over there shooting pictures, and which is not unusual.
Right.
Family members do it, and then I'm looking. He's got a different camera than the normal people out here.
Right.
We didn't have normal cameras. We had big cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So I shoot about probably a roll or two of film of everything that was happening that time. I walked over. I said. I'd introduced myself. I said, I don't think I know you. He says, yeah, I'm a photographer from whatever town it was where the bride is from, and they hired me to be here. And I said, what's the bride's name? And he told me, and I said, whoops. Here's a couple of rolls of film. If you need them, have them. I took off. Yeah. I went on down the street, found another church.
Right.
The bride had not arrived.
Thank goodness.
And because I'm always early.
Right.
But this on first wedding was starting earlier than my wedding was starting. So the confusion was on my part, but I was trying to catch up. Whew.
I went to the wrong funeral one time, and it was for it was like an 89-year-old Korean War veteran who I had no clue who was, and they had the casket open so you could see the person, but the funeral that we were going to, which was the night before, was for a man whose remains were found a year later. So
no open casket.
When you walk in, you see a body, you're like, wow, that's a lot of.
They did a good job.
They did a good job on this one, but I had already signed the register, and then my sister-in-law was going like, no. I'm going, what? Don't sign that. It's too late. I already signed it. And here comes the funeral director going, who was it that you said you were here for? And we said, again, he goes, oh, no, that was last night. And we're like, oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. And I know that family's probably still trying to figure out who I am, my name on the book and everything.
You're one of those people that just go to funerals, right?
Yeah.
There are those. You know that, right?
It's all we could do to get out the door without laughing, and we got out the door and just sat on the grass laughing hysterically. It was really kind of embarrassing.
Dressed for a funeral and no place to go.
Yeah, but we did go by the family's house later that night and just said, sorry, we missed the funeral.
The family that you bet to go to.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. It was just like, but all right, everyone listening. What embarrassing stories do you have?
Anybody got some good ones?
We know. I'm going to put the phone number out here now.
At the wrong place at the wrong time, or the wrong place at the right time, or the right place at the wrong time. Right. Whatever. If you showed up for something and you didn't know the difference for a while. I want to hear
what you've got.
You didn't show up for your own wedding at the wrong place, did you?
No.
I'm not you. I'm talking about anybody out there. Anybody out there do something really dumb, showing up the wrong place? We need a funny story here. This is a Friday. I want to leave on some fun.
Yes, I want to hear some
We've
stories.
talked about enough politics, enough bad news. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about a bunch of people being murdered or killed.
Oh,
Okay.
I know what you're going. Oh, yeah.
Over there in
What was
by
going-
Spain, sending the
Spain
army
was
to
crazy yesterday.
some little place in there in North Africa, and 18 people are killed. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. No, we're not going to talk.
Give me something funny.
We need some funny stories.
I want something that's embarrassing. You can use a different name. You can call yourself Lee. We'll be fine.
one. I'll take it. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Somebody, anybody.
Let it
Call
be
up.
Lee Day. Lee Day.
What's the most embarrassing thing you have had happen at the beach?
I can't really think of anything at the beach. Now, when I was a teenager, and we had a church function.
A church function.
One of the houses of church member, and their son and I were friends, and we went for a ride in his little sailboat. And it was a windy, wet day, and I had a T-shirt on over my bathing suit, not realizing that actually one side of the suit had come undone, and so I had a T-shirt on over it, but it got wet, and I don't know how long I was like that before I realized, like, oh my goodness gracious! But
did you win the wet T-shirt contest?
it was embarrassing. I was just like traumatized by that.
Gentlemen, ladies, come on down. Somebody's got a story out there.
Yeah, somebody's got a story better than that. Joy says the DA has a funny story, but I plead the fifth. Now, come on, Joy. We have to know what it is now.
Joy, you've got the number. Ring us up or we're going to call you.
Was it during like one of his plays at the church?
Hey.
Dressing up in costume or something?
Oh,
We're talking about Ernie Lee because
skirt?
I don't. Oh, that's right. There was a play that he was in that he was wearing a skirt. We talked about that. What happened?
Joy, give it up.
Joy,
Give it up,
you
girl.
have to give it up now. She says no.
Otherwise,
We won't tell him it came from you.
okay, let me see. Do I have any stories about Joy back in the day?
Won't do that to
think for
Joy.
just a minute. Oh,
I don't know. I think
Joy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you were a junior.
Oh.
I think a junior. Do you remember that? Remember who your teacher was over there in building 1 upstairs? Joy, you might want to give me a call, 910-333-0139.
I think you threatened her once before with this story a while back.
No, I didn't. I just thought about this story.
Oh, okay. She said, ha ha. Yeah, I know. We've all had embarrassing moments. Have you ever gone to try to get into the wrong car?
Everybody has.
Everybody's done that. You ain't got, why wasn't it open?
Yep.
And, come to find out, well, it's not your car. What are some other things? I think we've all done it. We've had rips or tears on our clothes. I remember one time I used to sing in the chancel
At
choir
another wedding I did.
at Trinity Methodist, and this was many, 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 many years ago. I sang in the chancel choir. Well, I chose not to sing that morning. I wanted to sit with my friends, Greg Streeter, Macon, Beasley, all of them, that whole class there.
Dr. Streeter's son.
Yes. And so and of course, had I been singing in the choir, we had the choir robes.
Uh-huh.
Well, of course, I wasn't wearing a choir robe. I was wearing a dress because in those days you always wore a dress and pantyhose to church. The ladies did.
Uh-huh.
Well, unfortunately, I had ripped a huge hole in my pantyhose right below my dress line, so it was obvious.
Uh-huh.
So, it was embarrassing. So I went and sat with my friends and stuff, and we stood up. Guess what the first song was that we sang, the whole church?
Holy.
It was. Holy, holy. And I'm like,
It's appropriate.
man. But little things like that, everybody's been through, especially the ladies.
I was at another wedding.
She says she can't talk. She might be somewhere
Yes.
where she can't talk.
Yes, you are. I was at another wedding, and I wore tuxedos, right?
Right.
That's standard uniform of the day for me. but I bent one time, and the tuxedo that I had on
Was a little snug around the hips.
no, it wasn't, but it ripped right there in the crotch. Not in the crotch, but in the back, back, where nothing. You couldn't see that standing up. As long as they don't move, everything was just fine. But I headed for the studio. The church was downtown.
Right.
And I was shooting the pre-wedding stuff. I headed for the studio 3 blocks away. And in my camera bag, I carry safety pins that all stapled together.
Right.
Or attached to each other.
Of course,
I do
yes.
that for brides because they were always looking. I had tape. I had everything in the world in my camera bag.
Right.
Because brides always had. I had that special tape that you wear when you don't have undergarments.
Yes. Yes. Right. Right.
So I had that always available. You would be amazed. And I ran down there, took the pants off. I'm in the studio, and I'm pinning up from the inside, pinning up. There were a bunch of safety pins there. I was like, God help you, don't let one of those things come undone. And they didn't. But
that would have been
I walked very carefully the whole time. I was not my normally animated self.
Ouch.
It could have been disastrous.
Wow. Well, I was at another county.
Come on, guys. What's yours?
Last month,
Somebody.
first of the month. And I was at a meeting, and I'm sitting in a chair at the table, and I'm leaning forward, of course, so my back's not on the chair. I'm talking to somebody or something. And this guy comes walking behind me with a cup of coffee. He bumped my chair. It spilled coffee down the back of my chair. I was wearing a white silk blouse. And about the time I leaned back, the guy across me come running up. Don't. He just spilled coffee all over your chair. It was all over the back of my shirt. And the guy never said, spilled the coffee? Sat down next to me, never said sorry, excuse me, or nothing. Nothing, Rayford. Nothing. That was so rude.
So then you married him.
No. Rudeness, not even to apologize.
Yeah,
things happen.
Yeah.
And had he said, I am so sorry, what can I do? I would have said, don't worry about it.
No.
I'll take care of it. But because he didn't even, he looked at me like, we were in a church, so I had to behave.
He probably heard about you and figured you were going to punch him one.
No, we were in a church, so I couldn't do any of that.
Yes, you could.
No, I don't want lightning coming down on me. Nope.
Self-defense and
Not over coffee.
justifiable actions sometimes are forgiven.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just beg for forgiveness first. And just
I've gone to work wearing 2 different shoes before. Done that. Yeah. Or go to work with your clothes inside out. Yeah, everybody's done that.
I did that in here one morning.
Yes.
My shirt was inside out. I didn't know it.
But you know what? They can't see.
I did. I used
dog hair
as a little kid, like 6, 7, whatever. I just used to love to shine my dad's shoes when he was there.
Oh.
So I got his shoes out one night, and I'm looking for a matching pair of shoes, and one's brown because it was either brown or black. You had one or the other.
Yes.
Because that's what people did, and I could find a brown, and I could find a black.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find their mates. When he got home from the meeting that was at, I said, let me see your shoes. He looked down there and he said, I'm not going to say what he said, but he said, how did I do that? And I said, I don't know, but I got one each of the others polished. So.
Well, I learned because I would get up like 4:30 in the morning to get dressed to go to work.
Get ready the night before.
And I learned,
the night before.
Yeah, you should.
Absolutely.
And when you first get up in the morning, I don't care how many lights you turn on in the house, your eyes aren't adjusted yet.
Nope.
And I had 2 pairs of shoes that were identical, only one was brown, one was blue.
Yep.
And went to work wearing one brown, one blue. Now I learned after a while, just put all your shoes in the back of the car,
Oh.
You're safe that way. You get to work and you get out there and you go, oh my, and then you can run out to the car and change them. They were so used. I've gone in there wearing my pants inside out. I've gone in there wearing 2 different shoes. Gone in there wearing the same shoe. They look alike, but they're heel difference.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first 5 hours that morning, I was walking normally, not realizing that one hill was 2 inches higher than the other.
My Lord.
I know it.
That's a.
Oh,
Who's this?
okay. I that might be Joy. Oh, it happens to all of us. Believe me. I think that's Joy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There she
How
is.
are you?
I'm hanging here.
I've been waiting for a good story from somebody.
It's not a good story, but it's,
Is it humiliating?
yes.
That's a good story.
No, it's not. Well, this is the deal.
Uh-huh.
I've gone to a restaurant before, let's say the ball game or the mall or whatever, and as women do, and we go in and we come out and we wash our hands and we, do whatever you do in the bathroom.
Right.
And you're walking down, and all of a sudden says, "Whoa, wait just a minute, wait, hold on." And you have this, toilet paper hanging all the way down the back, your back, down your.
Seen that so many times.
Oh, or stuck to the bottom of your shoe and you walk out onto the workroom floor. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Everybody knows what you're
Yes,
talking
I
about.
do.
I've watched it a lot.
I think
Yes,
it's
that has
happened to
happened, and also one other time. It's not really that. Well, it was very embarrassing. When I worked at the college, we had one time I worked in the department, the college foundation, where we'd have the donors that we would go to the general's house on the base, and we'd have this, college foundation fundraiser type thing, and appreciation for the people that had given or whatever. And you have the generals, and you have all these big contributors, etc. And of course, I had to, greet them and give them a name thing, etc. Well, it just so happened that on one of the occasions, I was chewing some gum, and I think I don't know if it was one of the generals or one of the contributors, I cannot remember. They had come up, and I was speaking with them, and the gum fell out of my mouth onto their name tag.
Oh,
and that was sort of humiliating and embarrassing when you're supposed to be prim and proper during those events. So not just a couple, but
I got
I'm not going to.
I got somebody else on the other line here. I bet he's got one too. You want to listen to it? Listen to it?
Listen.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I bet you've got an
I know you
embarrassing
have
one
to
or
have a
two.
good story.
Well, I probably got a bunch of embarrassing things that happened to me, but I want to tell you one incident that happened sort of concerned the police department. And if you remember Mayor Bruce Tichy,
I do.
Yes.
and his wife, the mayor had the owner of the Fiat car dealership here in Jacksonville.
I remember it.
And his wife went shopping in Kinston and drove, his car or her car to the mall in Kinston at the time. The mall's closed now up there. But anyway, when she come out, she found her car, or what she thought was her car, went to the car, put the key in the door, unlocked the door, got in the car, started it up, same color, same everything, and got halfway back to Jacksonville, and the highway patrol swarmed around her and stopped her because that car she was driving had been reported stolen. And
what's the
so
chances?
she had to have them to contact their dispatch, and dispatch at that time had to call the police department, and we had to end up going up there and finding her car that was exactly the same color, and for whatever reason that her key had unlocked the car, and we were able to get her out of a jam. But totally honest mistake, embarrassing to her, embarrassing to the mayor.
I wonder how Bruce felt about it.
Holy. That beats all my stories.
It was just odd, a lot of times cars that were built
years ago, the ignition key would work in some other cars.
Yes, they did.
But anyway, that was one of the things that really stuck with me as far as somebody making a big mistake and almost getting arrested for nothing at all, because they were really thought they had a crook,
Yeah, and Bruce, I understand, was saying, I don't know that woman.
That story wins.
Anyway, that's my story about that. I'll think of some that I had that I did, and I'll call you one day and tell you about it.
I want to do this every week.
I know he's got stories.
Oh yeah, I know that too.
I know
some things happened at the PD.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. You didn't shoot a mirror one night, did you? No, that wasn't you. I know who that was. Okay.
Well, I know that Chris Vanderveer stopped a guy on 24 there right by the veteran cemetery, and Chris, he's a retired Marine warrant officer. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, he stopped the car and pulled up behind the car, and you always taught to turn your wheels to the left and pull your fingers over protection. It was at night. And he got out and was talking to the driver about getting the registration and driver's license, and all of a sudden he seen a car backing up in front of him, a police car with the lights on, and he said, "What in the world is that fool doing?" And it was his own patrol car that he didn't put in front, in reverse, and it backed around and actually hit the guy's car that he had stopped, and that was a totally embarrassment. Anyway, didn't do a lot of damage, but he never lived that down as long as he was on the JPD.
I remember him. I went with him up on there Onslow Drive in 17 when that train would come across every Friday and would sit there and block the intersection forever and ever and ever. Remember those days?
Absolutely.
Do you know there's a state law that it cannot block an intersection for more than 7 minutes?
What?
Vanderveer found that law. He pulled the train engineer out of the train, off the train, and wrote him a ticket.
What?
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that, and also remember a young Lance Corporal had been drinking and went down to the railroad depot and got on the engine, and some way or another he knew how to start the train.
Oh no!
And he actually stole the train and was going down the railroad track by 17 when Ernie Lynch caught up with him, and the train wasn't moving very fast, and finally got on it, jumped on it, and apprehended him. Finally was able to stop the train, but he had done hit 2 or 3 cars.
That's worse than a tank getting away from.
We should have started this at 7 a.m. I'm telling you.
Couldn't let it end of the day.
That was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and bars was all closing, and he was going down the railroad track, hitting cars and knocking them around.
Hey, get out of my way! Get out of the way I'm driving. Get off the tracks or something. Yeah.
All aboard! Oh my gosh, that's fun.
But anyway, that's the story. I'll let you guys go.
Okay, and we get you next week. Yeah. We want to hear about you.
Yeah, we want to hear more
stories. I know you got some stories.
And by then, Joy can tell us hers.
It's either that or Robin will call in and tell us about your stories.
That's right.
I probably have so many. I probably have so many that I'm trying to figure out which ones would be the best to tell.
Just start with one. I'm sure they'll just keep on coming.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
Okay.
Thank you, Jack.
Take care. You have a good weekend.
Bye-bye. All right, Joy. There's nothing out there. Right?
I'm not talking anymore.
We'll get you. We'll get you soon.
I'll put the names, and they can call and tell their own stories.
You can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have a story hour once a week now. I want to know.
I want to know the story.
I want to know the details.
There is one funny one about DAs, but that's not my place to share it. It is funny.
Well, when you call back next week, just change your name. Change
We'll
your voice a
have
little bit.
it by
Just
then.
talk a little bit deeper. They
Yes.
don't know who you
I'm
are.
sure Missy knows the story.
Oh, does she now?
Well, that's all
I would
right.
think. I would think.
Okay, I'll find
Y'all
out.
have a good weekend.
You
All right.
too,
How long
Joy.
ago was the story?
It was probably, I want to say within the past year or two. I don't really know for
I thought
sure.
so. Then we have another source inside that household.
I've got
Exactly.
quite a few
She's a
sources inside that
a
household.
very pretty young lady.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is. And
We're neighbors too,
she will
so
tell the truth. So, anyway.
Yeah, well,
I don't
they
know.
have to go by their house every day to go see Mama. So yeah, well, I know about
yes.
where they live. So
Yes.
it
Okay.
is a funny story.
All right.
We'll find out. We'll dig
Y'all have a
into
good
it.
weekend.
Thank
You
you.
too,
Thanks for
Joy.
helping in this week on
All
a
right.
positive note.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Do you want to put out a public service announcement?
Sure.
The sheriff's office is doing a exercise at
Yes.
Stateside Elementary School, which is right off of Cumbridge.
Is it
So you could-
Stateside or Silverdale?
It was Stateside, what I saw. Anyway, let me double check. Stateside Elementary School, and they will be in and out during the day. It's a training exercise. It's a small one, but you will see deputies and vehicles moving in and out of the area throughout the day, and it's supposed to be completed by this afternoon. So don't get all excited. It's an exercise. So.
Well, why don't you get excited? Go ahead on socialist media and post it that they're swarming the school. Just put out some kind of any story that you want to put out
Barricaded a
there.
teacher in the school. No, don't do that. Anyway, just want to let you know that they are conducting an exercise today.
Yeah.
Which, thank you, Sheriff's Office, for always staying on top of it.
Yes. And thanks for the notification too.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Monday's coming. We have anybody yet for Monday? We're gonna load up that board between now and Monday because I have
shoot.
17 people in it. Maybe we could get the district attorney in here on Monday.
Yeah, call in for today. Oh, I got a call today. Okay.
We can need the DA. We need let's see who we need the acting police chief right now.
Yes, we're working on that. We're
Okay.
working on that.
Okay.
Yes,
We'll just
definitely.
Call him, ask her what time she would like to be in because we're scheduling
I'll
all
send
of them.
Sarah another email and say, well,
Call her direct.
I can do that.
Yeah,
I can send her
that's
an
the way to do
email.
it.
You get much more out of an email with her. So anyway.
All right.
Yep.
We will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend today, tomorrow for the boaters. Not bad. Sunday, not good.
Right.
So, take advantage of the opportunity. And, it is officially the weekend.
Alexa, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
What?
Alexa, say goodbye.
Alexa?
Goodbye.
There you go.
That was Alexa.
Alexa, say have a great weekend.
How do you know you're in love with a robot?
What?
You feel a little spark.
Okay.
Okay, we're leaving on that
We're
note.
live in local real talk.
Bye.
Where we're awake most of the time, woke never.
Never.
We'll see you on
Have a
Monday.
great weekend.
Be safe. Bye.